Hello and welcome to another Technitar production. This is the intro video for a concept that I'd like to try. I'm calling it Taming the Game. And the first game that I'm going to tame is Path of Exile, famously known as the most complex ARPG ever made. I figured this would be a good time to do this, as the new Affliction League is starting very soon. Video games are getting more and more complex all the time, especially role-playing games. There are many different flavors of RPG, from MMO to ARPG to roguelike. But the most popular ones all have one thing in common. Build guides are a dime a dozen. I do think that build guides have their place. When you're at the end game and you're rich enough to support your hardcore habits, a perfectly optimized build guide can indeed help you squeak out that little bit of extra DPS or survivability that you need. But what if you don't have access to the one ultra-rare unique item that your favorite S-tier farming build is dependent on? What if you don't have the supernatural twitch reflexes of a grizzled 15-year-old Fortnite veteran? When you see all these hyper-specific build guides, you might start to worry that you can't properly enjoy the game unless you can perform in the top 1% of players. My aim with this video series is to show you that you can indeed still enjoy most of these games even while playing at a more mediocre level. I'm not going to just hand you a build and tell you GG's. I want to teach you how to think about making your own build, how to recognize meaningful patterns and synergies between gear and skills, and most importantly of all, how to learn from your mistakes. This isn't necessarily just for Path of Exile. This might help you in other games as well. These videos won't be highlight reel material. Think of them more like a thoughtful Let's Play, where I take the time to explain my skill choices and gearing choices as I go through the game. For Path of Exile, my goal is to start a brand new character and progress all the way through completing a Tier 16 map. I get the feeling that killing the big bosses beyond that does require a lot of grinding and optimization. But if you can get to T16, then you're probably set for being able to grind all that out. So we'll settle for T16 as our goal. I'm going to impose a few rules on myself for this. Number 1, I'm going to do solo self-found mode, where I can't trade anything or party up. I see way too many build guides that just say, trade for all this stuff and you're good to go. Are you kidding me? If I wanted to play Stock Market Simulator, I'd go play EVE Online. Casual players want to spend their time beating up zombies, not scrolling through item listings. Number 2, I'm not going to equip any uniques until after I've cleared the first T16 map. Uniques are definitely important when you're optimizing in the late game, but my aim here is to prove that you can make a build that works reasonably well without them. Number 3, I'm not going to overlevel excessively. Sometimes I do get carried away and chase down every last monster in a zone, but I'm not going to clear the same zone over and over again unless I'm having serious trouble progressing past it. During the main storyline, I will try to stay within the range where I'm not being penalized for being overleveled. It gets a little weird after that with maps, though. If all this sounds appealing to you, then watch this space. I intend to add more videos to this playlist frequently. I'm thinking that I'm going to do one video per zone, but those might end up being a little too short, so I might do 2 or 3 zones at a time. Either way, I hope that if you find Path of Exile intimidating, you'll join me as I tame the game, and hopefully you'll find it a little more approachable afterward.